And hello and good morning. We are live here on Boles.tv, BOLES.tv. I'm David Boles, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Here with you every day, even on President's Day, or Washington's birthday, or the day that we don't have to go to work, whatever you want to call it. Here we are, having fun once again. And yes, I'm wearing my new Nebraska Needs Journalist shirt, which I love very much. And what does it mean? I'll tell you in a moment. Looks great though, right? Very strong. Nebraska Needs Journalists. Boom. Flatwater Press. A new sort of digital magazine coming out of Nebraska. Very red state. Very blue countenance for the Flatwater Press. They cover all of the things that the mainstream media should be covering in Nebraska, and they don't. Because, hey Dora, good morning. Nice to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. And the Flatwater Press talks about things that the mainstream press doesn't want to talk about, which is wonderful because the rest of us hear about it. Now, right before we went on the air, which always seems to happen, I log in with Streamlabs, and Streamlabs says, hey, we couldn't log in to Twitch. So you can just continue. If we continue, we're broadcasting nowhere. Or you can try to log in. So you stop, and you log in, and you re-log in, and you have to put in your two-factor authentication codes, and this code, and it puts you 10 minutes behind. And there's no way you can know if Streamlabs is going to force you, for whatever reason they have, to log you back in again until you try to log in when you're going live. So you have everything set up to go live, and then it says, oh, we can't get you in. You have to go back. So that means this is all messed up, which is going to be my web browser, which we're going to talk about next. So let me see if I can set this up. I'm going to see the wrong image, which is, hello. That is the Twitch side of our stream that we manage. And then I have to go here and find the right window. And it's this window. Hey all. Ethereum is crashing. Which is good if you want to buy, and if you're looking to excuse me, get into crypto. It's down 2.5 today. 2,600. Now, when we were last together and we were talking about this crypto stuff, this Ethereum thing, it was around 2,800. And it's interesting, when the new day starts, they start the new day at the new price, even if it's lower than the other price. So this morning when I woke up, it was, hey, Ethereum's up 10%. And I looked at the price, and it was, 25 something. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And then as the day goes on, as you can see, it's all in the red. Going up and going down, 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 down. Bitcoin, as you can see down here, having a rough day too. Ooh, look at that. Ether to United States dollar. Now that's interesting. Bitcoin is... I didn't know you could do that. That's fun. I like that. So you can see two things at once. Two mints in one. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are both tanking on almost the exact same trajectory. And this is really fantastic news. If you want to buy Bitcoin or buy Ethereum because you want to buy NFTs, or just buy it low so you can hold on to it later and watch it grow. Now, the people who have assets in NFTs, or who are artists selling NFTs, this is terrible for them because they're losing money every single day. The floor is being swept out from underneath them. And people who know more than I know say that this cryptocurrency appears to some reason be attached to the stock market. So when the stock market does well, crypto does well. And when the stock market has a bad day, crypto has a bad day. And it's supposed to be just the opposite. Crypto is supposed to be totally independent. You can get these numbers all day, all night, 24 hours a day, including Saturday and Sunday. The stock exchange stops. It's what, 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon? Over. Doesn't move. Where Ethereum and Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies, they just keep trading. So it can get very bad very quickly. It usually doesn't get very good very quickly because people don't want the price really to go up if you're trying to purchase. But if you're a long-term investor, you want the price to go up, but that means you're not going to move your money. You're just going to hang on to it. So all weekend, you're just watching Ethereum creep down and down and down and down. And the prices of NFT art dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. Because it's hard to have a new listing. You put the listing up, you put up the listing what you want to sell it at, and if the price of Ethereum goes down, then you're stuck. You don't want to go in there and re-edit your listing, because then you'd be re-editing your listing every 10 minutes. So eventually it will come back. People will get a good deal, the prices will eventually rise, and everyone will be happy again. But right now, opportunity. When I saw the price was $2,700 over the weekend, I thought that was fantastic. And since then, over time, it's dropped another $150. The price, when I started investigating all of this, was usually around $3,000 for Ethereum. And for Bitcoin, it was around $40,000. So Bitcoin is now $37,000. So it just keeps going down, 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 which I find kind of interesting. So what else is in the news? Well, here's another interesting. So this is Google Finance, which I find does a very good job of tracking. It's my favorite way of tracking these cryptocurrencies over time. You can just put your mouse on the timeline and look at it and see exactly how much these things were selling for. And we're down way below right now. It's coming back up, but boy, there for a while it was not so good. A couple of hours ago. Here is a website from Etherscan. This is the entity that tracks all of these in and out sales of NFTs and Ethereum. This is dedicated to Ethereum. And this is the Ethereum gas tracker. Now, gas you can never really predict. You never know if gas is going to go high or low. And some of these NFT purchases you make, the gas can be anywhere from $100 to $300, in addition to the NFT price. And the reason it's so high is because there's a lot of information that is being transmitted from the purchase. When you're just like putting Ethereum in your account, it's from here to there, done, the gas is pretty low. But when you're buying a piece of artwork, let's say, and you want to give priority to that piece of artwork because it has a contract in it, and you're transferring ownership of something from one person to another person, that takes space, time, in the space-time continuum, which means gas. So you can get these updates sent to you. There are several sites that will tell you what the gas price is, but it's not reliable because they send you the gas price, and it's low. You think, oh my gosh, it's low, time to go buy. And then you get there and the price has gone back up. So it's totally unpredictable, but you can at least see an average of where the gas price is going. So here we go, just changed again. Low is 98, which is 821. Average is 827, high is 827. Confirmation time plus gas time. 7-day historical gas prices started really high. February 15, Happy Craft Singles Day. Those were the gas prices. Higher is much worse for you. And then boom, on the 16th it crashed. Much lower. 17, 18, now it's kind of steadying out here now at 26, highest 669. And the highest is depending what you're sending and how fast you want it confirmed. If you're buying something like an NFT, you want the sale confirmed very quickly. Because otherwise, if you take the slow route, it can take 2 to 3 days to confirm a sale and get the contract and get all the transference of ownership made. So it's a sin you have to pay for if you want to make sure you have in your pocket what you paid for. So there's another little fun site that you can track the gas. It's not very helpful, but it does give you a picture over time of where gas prices are, even though you can't control them and you can't negotiate them. They're just, it's the gas price. And here, this is very interesting. So OpenSea, if you're buying something on OpenSea, the price right now for gas, if you're buying, let's say, a piece of artwork on OpenSea, NFT, you're going to pay $80 in gas fees. So if you're buying something that's, let's say, $100, you're going to pay $79, $80 for it. Okay, that's a lot of money. But if you're buying something on OpenSea that's $2 million, $80 is nothing to make sure you have it in your pocket. So it's all point of view. Here's quite a lovely story. Speaking of crypto and Coinbase, this was sent to me over the weekend. And this is an ordinary scam, but it's a very interesting one because they're coming at me midstream, trying to pretend that we already have a relationship. So they must know that I do some of my transactions on Coinbase and they have access to my email address. Maybe there's a leak somewhere. I'm not too concerned about it because I have everything pretty well locked down. Nothing can happen without approval. I have hardware wallets. I have software wallets. So I'm confident that this isn't something that is true. But when I first saw this, just looking at the header, case number 982, two-factor code for changing phone number. When I saw that, I thought, oh no, someone is trying to break into my account. Now that's a hassle because that is an active threat against you. And that means you probably have to do something like log into your account and change your password or update your two-factor authentication or something's gone wrong. When you get an email like this, it means, uh-oh, someone's messing with you. If it's coming from Coinbase. But this did not come from Coinbase. But it looks like it came from Coinbase. From Coinbase support to me, with the right email address. And thanks for bringing this to our attention. So right there, it's very clever. As if I had already contacted them. And I thought sometimes people mistake my email address for their email address. And that causes me a lot of problems because I get alerts that something's happened and people can't log into I can't log into my account and reset this password. So I'm pretty trained to know when things are not going well. And when it's people just messing with you. So I thought, thanks for bringing this to our attention. So right there, red flag. I haven't contacted you for anything forever. And here's a verification code. And we need additional information from you before we can resolve your case. I said, I don't have a case. And then at this time I looked up and saw, oh, Coinbase support coming from the email address coinbase27@gmail.com. So it's not coming from coinbase.com. It's not coming from a legitimate email address. Very, very sloppy, very simple to figure out what's going on. And it's not even Coinbase 27, it's SCOIN base 27. So if you don't receive two-step verification prompt after signing in, try clearing your browser. If you require support, let us know. Call us at this phone number. I looked up the phone number. It's a junk phone number, not a Coinbase phone number. So we can assist you with additional steps for recovery, Coinbase support. So it's all a big scam. 91% of the people I know who are just starting to get into crypto would probably fall for this and either reply to it, terrified, or they would call the phone number and get scammed. And that's what they're counting on, that you don't know, that you're scared, that you're trying to figure things out that you don't really understand. So if this were legitimate, I would go to the Coinbase website, I would log into my account and see if there were any notifications for me in my inbox. And if there was something that I found uncertain or untoward, I would pick up the phone number and try to call them. But they don't answer the phone. And they don't really answer their email either. It takes them 2 or 3 days. But you have to do something if you think you're under a legitimate attack, because there are legitimate attacks that are going on. And one of them that hit OpenSea over the weekend. And we're going to be talking about that too. So many things going on since I saw you in 2 days. Now, speaking of Coinbase, before we get into this OpenSea thing, I really love this. A lot of these big companies like Microsoft, Google, Netscape at the time, Coinbase now, and Coinbase when they started out had some problems with verification and getting into crypto, and there was big money involved and really nasty criminal scammers trying to get in on it. So they had some trouble for a while. It's the wonderful world of crypto, artist Dora says. It is wonderful. It's really fascinating. And you can tell just by the way this is going and the steam that it has is that it's not going anywhere. We're just getting started with this crypto stuff. And so Coinbase has a bounty program that if you find something wrong with their software, they want you as a good guy to try to break into their system or find flaws in their system. And when you find them and you verify the problem and send them the information, then they give you money. It's a bounty. That's what it's called. And sometimes they range from $10,000, sometimes up to $1 million. So on February 11, Coinbase received a report from a third-party researcher, just a regular person, indicating they had uncovered a flaw in Coinbase's trading interface. We promptly mobilized our security incident response team to identify and patch the bug and resolve the underlying system issue without any impact to customer funds. That is very good. And then, believe it or not, I love this, transparency. We talk about it. We don't often see it. They give you a timeline. At 10:16 a.m., a member of the crypto community tweets that they have uncovered a serious flaw in the Coinbase trading interface and requests contacts in the Coinbase security team. 45 minutes later, based on limited initial information provided by the intermediaries, Coinbase Security declares an incident and mobilizes engineering resources to begin testing all trading interfaces to determine the validity of the alleged bug. 21 minutes after that, the crypto researcher files a vulnerability report via HackerOne, Coinbase's bug bounty program, indicating that the flaw resides in a specific API for retail advanced trading. Coinbase engineers also complete a review of all other user interfaces and Coinbase Exchange APIs to determine that they are not impacted. And this, I can tell you, is when people at Coinbase are having a heart attack. They're panicked because the thing they rely on is security. And if someone is exploiting them or there is an exploit that is possible, everyone is on high alert, all hands on deck. Wherever you are in the world, if you're sleeping, your alarm goes off and says, get online and fix this. 42 minutes later, after notification, Coinbase engineers are able to reproduce the bug. And the retail advanced trading platform is placed into cancel-only mode, disabling new trades. So now, 20 minutes of panic. They confirm that the bug is real, terrifying, and they're able to put a stop to it. And then about 4 hours later, that's how long this stuff takes, which is a lifetime in crypto. Imagine all of the terrible things that could go on in 4 hours with people stealing stuff. At 4 p.m., a patch is validated, released, resolving the incident. Whew. So that seems fast. 10 a.m. in the morning, notified. 4 p.m. it's fixed. But that's 6 hours. A long time. Now, the underlying cause of the bug was a missing logic validation check in a retail brokerage API endpoint, which allowed a user to submit trades to a specific order book using a mismatched source account. The API is only utilized by our Retail Advanced Trading Pro platform, which is currently in limited beta release. Now, see, that's another scaring thing. Beta release with crypto, any kind of financial software, terrifying. Don't join a beta. Ever. Unless it's something you don't care about. But if it's about finance or your computer, stay out of the beta program. For example, this is the bug. A user has an account with 100 SHIB and a second account with 0 Bitcoin. The user submits a market order to the Bitcoin USD order book to sell 100 Bitcoin, but manually edits the API request to specify their SHIB account as the source of the funds. Here, the validation service would check to determine whether the source account had sufficient balance to complete the trade, but not whether the source account matched the proposed asset for submitting the trade. As a result, a market order to sell 100 Bitcoin on the Bitcoin USD order book would be entered into the Coinbase exchange. There were mitigating factors that would have limited the impact of this flaw had it been exploited at scale. For example, Coinbase Exchange has automatic price protection circuit breakers, and our trade surveillance team continuously monitors our markets for health and anomalous trading activity. Thanks to the researcher who discovered this issue, Coinbase was able to fix this bug in a matter of hours and conclusively determined that it has never been maliciously exploited. This is their conclusion. We have also implemented additional checks to ensure it cannot happen again. And here we go. Coinbase strongly supports independent security research, and there are people, teams, who do this for a living. They go out and see if they can break something and win a bounty for it. That's how they make their money. And you need them. And when those researchers uncover serious issues, we want to ensure that they are rewarded accordingly. As a result, we are paying out our largest ever bounty for this finding, $250,000. It's fantastic. It's glorious. It's wonderful. It's the way things are supposed to work. People help you. They tell you about it. You take them seriously. And you check into it. And you always have to provide proof as the person testing. And then you can get $250,000. And here's the link if you want to go be a hacker yourself and see if you can find something wrong with Coinbase. Oh, it is not loading. Now it's loading. Must be a lot of people looking for $250,000 this morning. So they've 575 reports resolved, assets in scope, average bounty, $150 and $200. This one was $250,000. And you can see here are the rewards. A low reward is $200, a medium reward is $2,000, $15,000 for high, $50,000 for critical. And they just paid $250,000. So I would call that hyper super duper critical. But this is good. This is where you pay the good guys to go after you and say, come break my stuff and tell me how you did it, and I will pay you for breaking my stuff. Because a lot of these companies, especially early, would say, oh, no, we're fine. We're Coinbase. No one can touch us. We have the best security in the world. Oh, really? And then they get in trouble, and they have to pay out. Well, we're just beginning this wonderful day of crypto. We have more to come. OpenSea is next. But right now, we're taking a very brief blood pressure break. Back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles. Welcome to Boles TV. BOLES dot television. BOLES dot TV. Video on demand. BOLES dot live. LIVE. So we talked about Coinbase avoiding a big scam ding dong on Super Bowl Friday. And here's, just to top that off, here's the interesting tweet from, I believe, the person who figured out the hack. Tree of Alpha. Engineer Trade, Tree of Alpha F. Follow. And he explains what he did and how he figured it out. How a flaw in the new advanced trading feature would have allowed a malicious user to sell Bitcoin or any other coin without owning them. And how Coinbase's reaction speed on a Super Bowl Friday averted a possible crisis. Bounty $250,000. So then he steps us through the process. At first, I decided to poke around the new advanced trading platform to see how orders are sent and what a successful one looks like. I put in ETH Euro order from the UI and grabbed the request that I was sent. I noticed the API needs product, source, and target account IDs. And this is the proof of that concept. In order to get a failed message, I changed the product ID to Bitcoin USD, but did not change the two account IDs. Source is my Ethernet wallet. Target is my Euro wallet. Expecting an error because my account is not allowed to trade on the Bitcoin USD pair, the order just goes through. I just used a little bit of Ether to sell a little bit of Bitcoin on the Bitcoin USD pair, a pair I do not have access to without holding any Bitcoin. Excuse me. Hoping this was a UI bug, a user interface bug, not a programming bug. I checked the fills on the order and they match the API. Those trades really happen and on the live order book. There's the proof of it. So these are all the things that he submitted to Coinbase to get his bounty. For my last test, before reporting this, to make sure I send 9 million Shiba to my Coinbase account, I changed the source account ID to my Shiba account on Coinbase, put a 50 Bitcoin limit sell order using 50 Shiba, and ask people around me if they too are seeing it. And quite frankly, there aren't many things quite as sobering, yet terrifying, as realizing you just put a 50 Bitcoin sell limit order using 50 Shiba. Everyone else can see it. 5 minutes later, I was sending this initial tweet. Thanks to an overwhelming community response, including prominent faces like Kobe. And when you see these people mentioned, you follow them. Samsung, follow him. This person, follow him. Security guy Phil, you always follow someone named Phil. Follow. I quickly get Coinbase's attention. Barely 3 minutes after my HackerOne report is sent, I get an answer from the dev team at Coinbase. After quickly explaining the exploit and supplying a proof of concept, I insist on how Coinbase needs to immediately stop all advanced trading, including and most importantly, posting orders. Fewer than 30 minutes later, all markets there were in cancel-only mode. Hey, El Beyonce, too. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. For a malicious user, a few attack vectors included shorting on FTX Binance and flashing big limit sales, actually executing a constant selling pressure by using 50 Shiba to sell 50 Bitcoin every minute, trying to withdraw the proceeds. We will never know what exactly could have happened. No, we're not inhaling any helium today. We will never know what exactly could have happened should a black hat hacker try to exploit it, and it is better this way. While I could have myself... Whoops. Hit the wrong button. While I could have myself tried to flash huge limit sell orders, responsible testing requires I only do the necessary to assess the extent of the bug. Special thanks to the community, Coinbase, oh, we're not even following Coinbase, for its reaction speed, HackerOne, for existing. HackerOne is where you report all these bounties. While I sometimes have my beef with Coinbase, I'm not sure I would have reached any other crypto exchange that quickly in the same situation. So that's hero stuff, fun stuff, and it all happened right before our eyes, in real time, and this was reported later. So here is my OpenSea account, and this is the next stage that has nothing to do with the Coinbase thing we talked about, but OpenSea had its own little big drama over the weekend, and Dora was part of it. She didn't cause it. She was learning from it, and I learned from it as well, and it's really fascinating because it was all really preventable and completely unnecessary. And you can see this little warning at the top. Always verify the website address is OpenSea.io. That's the crux of all the problems that were going on over the weekend. And this alert changed from make sure for sellers that you're changing your contract from the old contract to the new contract. And it was in that process of changing from the old contract to the new contract that this trouble happened. But looking at my account, you can see that I have a new avatar. This is one of the things that I said I would never purchase, which is a Subet Tokyo Kid. But this one is the cutest one that I've ever seen. It sort of looks like me. It's goofy and weird and has strange teeth, which I find sort of charming. I think the other ones are very ugly and very angry looking, and in my opinion, anti-Subet. Subet is all about love and healing, and then he draws these ugly, ugly, ugly Tokyo Kid avatars. And you can see our wonderful friend Ian Jones. We have his work here. It's a painting that he did, turned it into an NFT. You can see the Tokyo Kid here. You can see we also have a lovely co-produced piece from our new friend Gabe Weiss and our old friend Ishita of Soul Curry Art. She did half of the painting, he did the other half, because they're both cubists. And they split it apart and put it together, which I just love. So I have half of one and half of the other. I wish I had a whole Gabe, and I wish I had a whole Ishita, and I'm working on it. But they're very expensive, and they're very hard to find. This is also my other favorite from Subet again. This is his Ugly Kitties collection, which I do love. I love everything in the... I want all of them. And this was one that I was able to get my hands on, so they say. And I love the microphone. And I also love the wristwatch with the second. So you get two ugly kitties in one. You get one ugly kitty on the wristwatch, and then the other ugly kitty screaming into a microphone, which is what I do all day, every day, and which I've done ever since I was 13 years old on the radio in Lincoln, Nebraska. And here's my F name, right? We talked about that last week, and there's my wallet ID, and that is my F name, which leads to my wallet ID, which is much easier to send. So, and the background has been changed to the Subet Fresh Kills movie poster design thing. So this is OpenSea. So now you know what OpenSea is. And then there was a big rigmarole over the weekend on OpenSea, and a lot of lost nights and a lot of people who are very upset. And here's the story. OpenSea NFT hack exposes Web3 self-custody risks. And this is from yesterday. And it's all blown a little bit out of proportion because there was panic over the weekend before people figured out what was going on. Is someone was stealing wallets, NFT wallets. Someone was stealing your NFT art. And they couldn't figure out why. And people, all of their NFTs were being scraped out and resold by this hacker person. And one person said, this guy stole my Pudgy Penguin NFT, which I guess is some kind of cartoon, and then sent it back to me. He stole it from me, didn't like it, thought it was ugly, and sent it back. Can't make any money off of that, I guess. Multiple OpenSea users had their NFTs swiped from their Ethereum wallets last night. Despite rumors of an exploit, OpenSea insists that a phishing attack is the root cause. And that's exactly what it was. A hacker stole hundreds of NFTs from OpenSea users last night. While a post-mortem report has not yet been published, OpenSea team has claimed the hacker executed a phishing attack to steal the NFTs. The incident is yet another reminder of the risks of self-custody in Web 3.0. So this is how it went down. A hacker stole millions of dollars worth of NFTs from OpenSea users. The attacker targeted an estimated 32 collectors on the top NFT marketplace, which is OpenSea, and drained their Ethereum wallets. On-chain data posted by PeckShield shows that they stole over 250 pieces of art from high-value collectors and collections like Bored Ape Yacht Club, Doodles, Azuki, and NFT Worlds. Based on the floor prices for the collections, Crypto Briefing estimated the total haul to be worth over 1,000 Ethereum, or $3 million. Which that was Friday. Today it's worth $2.5 million. The attacker's wallet, see, everything on the blockchain is open, so people know exactly what wallet took it and what wallet has their stuff. But the question is, how can you get it back? The attacker's wallet currently contains 641 Ethereum, worth about $1.7 million, as of Friday. As of today, probably $1.2 million, as well as a selection of stolen NFTs. News of the attack surfaced late Saturday. Doro was up, I was not, when users reported suspicious activity tied to their accounts. It was initially rumored that the exploit was linked to a smart contract that OpenSea users have been migrating their NFT to over recent weeks. However, OpenSea likely pointed to a phishing attack. We're actively investigating rumors of an exploit associated with the OpenSea-related smart contracts. It's really a phishing attack originating outside OpenSea's website. Do not click links outside of OpenSea.io. Ah, what did I just do? I tried to highlight it and something happened. Okay. The team took to Twitter early Sunday to announce that it was actively investigating the rumors and a phishing attack. So what happened is this, the people who were struck by this are people who sell NFTs on OpenSea. So there has been a transition period from the old contract to the new contract. And when you're on the OpenSea website, there's a big banner, at least there was last week, that said, if you haven't yet migrated all of your art over from here, the old contract, to the new contract, you need to do it right away because it's a safety issue. So click this and start the transition process. Okay, so I clicked on it because I didn't understand what it meant, and it says you don't have anything to migrate. And it was then I realized, oh, they're not talking about my NFTs, they're talking about the NFTs I'm trying to sell to other people. Well, because this was going on, and because some people who are business people on OpenSea don't really pay attention to their emails, they got an email from someone pretending to be from OpenSea, saying, hey, you know, you're going to be in big trouble if you don't transfer over your NFTs that you're selling to the new contract. Click here, well, and we'll start the process for you. Now, when people say in an email, click here, and it's about money or something you own or something you control, you need to think twice. Think, uh-oh, what am I clicking on, right? When I showed you that Coinbase phishing email, it was not from Coinbase. It was from soinbase27@gmail.com. So I knew immediately it wasn't from Coinbase. Well, these people got tricked. That's why it was this what they call a phishing expedition. And people clicked on that link to what they thought was transfer their artwork to the new contract. And what it did is that was a malicious link they clicked on that did not go to OpenSea.io. It went to the hacker's website, which then gave the hacker access to that collector's, seller's wallet. So this is 100% not OpenSea's fault. This is 100% the fault of the people who did not really pay close attention to the email and clicked on the wrong thing and got their stuff stolen. Excuse me, and will they be able to get it back? We should ask the Magic 8 Ball, because the answer is no. But we'll ask the Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball. Will the NFT creators on OpenSea get their stuff back? And the 8 Ball says, uh-oh, the 8 Ball has no answer. Well, now that's interesting. Is our bot not working today? No, the bot's working, so why isn't 8 Ball working? We'll try it again. 8 Ball. Oh, I forgot the 8. 8 Ball. Will the NFT creators on OpenSea get their art back and money back from their wallets? Question mark. The decision is yours. Well, then I say yes. They should get all of their stuff back. Now, here's the thing. We know the wallet that stole all this stuff. We know where it exists. But we don't necessarily know the person behind it, because people like that don't have a .eth name. They are not online. They don't know what they're doing. All they want to do is hide stuff. So I'm sure that's a temporary wallet that's then linked to another wallet, to another wallet, to another wallet, until you can't find anything and everything ends up in the Cayman Islands. So here is OpenSea, again, online, saying we are actively investigating. Let's see if they have any updates. And some people love OpenSea, some people hate OpenSea. They say open blah, blah, blah. Everybody's all upset about everything. Yeah, I'm not clicking any link. Nice try, OpenSea. Here's another person who says, if you've ever used OpenSea, your funds and NFTs are not safe. There's a bug in the Wyvern token transfer proxy approval that allows anyone to transfer NFTs to other wallets. If anyone has experience with OpenSea contracts, shoot me a DM to report this. Fix that. This is no rumors. It's real and it's happening right now. Allo.eth. When it's .eth name, we like to follow them because they're hepcats and we like that. They know what's going on. It's definitely 90% OpenSea's fault. Decompiled the contract. Exploiter helper. Salt prefix, OpenSea deal. Anybody can execute this method. The data you need to send to the method is the problem. The hacker obtained the correct signature data by means of phishing or rogue extension. Oh, it's just such a big sigh. Now this, which again I love, and this is a very expensive kitty. I favorited them just so I could show it to you later. Cool cats is what they're called. Cool cats icons. And let's just look at one and see what they're selling for. Here, the one with all the bandages. What's it? If I wanted to get this cool cat right now for my profile. $35,000 for that. $35,000 for Cool Cat 9780. $35,000. 13 Ethereum. Okay, so the reason I'm showing you that is because right here is one right here. Devin Finzer, non-fungible human, cute, co-founder and CEO of OpenSea, the largest NFT marketplace. Y contributor alum. Pinterest and Credit Karma. So this is the big boss responding to this OpenSea thing. Oh, our friend Doris says, in the middle of it, on Saturday, I felt like Woodward Bernstein. I know, and you were on there asking good questions in the thread trying to figure out what was going on, even though you may not know what's going on, and people were answering you and helping you. It was really very lovely. So when I woke up early, like 4 in the morning, I see these notes from Dora about what's going on. I'm thinking, what? And first I'm thinking someone's trying to steal my stuff. And then 2 hours later, going down the rabbit hole, I figured out what was going on. I thought, well, that's really interesting and unfortunate. So this is the tweet from the big boss of OpenSea. I know you're all worried. We're running all hands on deck investigation, but I want to take a minute to share the facts as I see them. As far as we can tell, this is a phishing attack. It's not connected to the OpenSea website. It appears 32 users have signed a malicious payload, the fake email. They clicked on the fake email from an attacker, and some of their NFTs were stolen. And one pudgy penguin was returned. We are not aware of any recent phishing emails that have been sent to users, but at this time we do not know which website is tricking users into maliciously signing messages. As always, double check you're interacting, very important, with OpenSea.io in your browser when you sign messages, because when you buy things and trade things on OpenSea, they'll say, please confirm in your wallet. Click on it, sign it with your digital fingerprint, which is just you clicking on a button, to confirm that this is you and that you want this to happen. So there are a lot of fail-safes built into the system. If you are an affected user, please DM OpenSea support, follow, so that we can thoroughly investigate, and we'd love your help. For a technical context, look at this thread. If you're concerned and want to protect yourself, you can unapprove access to your NFT collection using that link, which is what a lot of people did. Importantly, rumors that this was a $200 million hack are false. The attacker has 1.7 million Ethereum in his wallet from selling some of our stolen NFTs. So that's the head cat with a $27,000 avatar. And what a weekend. It's been very wild. And now we're going to take a very brief blood pressure break and come back and talk about how you're going to start sending out your work to get a job using NFTs. More about that in a moment. We are back from chat. I'm David Boles. We're not back from chat, we're back from our break. I'm David Boles on Boles.tv, BOLES.tv. Thank you for being here. We are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. January on the weekends, 11 a.m. Share fun facts and American Sign Language and other disabled, interesting topics. Well, our CPU usage is high. Our frames per second dropped to about 20 from 60 right as I came back because I was loading 3 instances of bolesblogs.com, which is very intensive and draining on our resources. So I thought, well, I'll just sit here and let everything drop and glitch. That's why I was moving my hands to see if it was glitching. And it's not glitching, but it was on the verge of glitching. No drop frames, though. So that's good. Thank you for the follow. John Wilkes Booth, 01. I'm not sure if that's a reincarnation or an admiration. And I'm not sure I want to find out. But we do welcome you here. And we are always interested in hearing what you might have to say on President's Day 2022. So when we started this stream 1 hour ago, we talked about how Ethereum was taking a big fat dump. And now we take a look at Ethereum, and oh my God, it's gone up like $200 since we last talked. So if you didn't buy it, the floor has been swept and is now filling up with dust. It's now up 120 today, up almost 5%. From where we started. We started our show here, way down, 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 down. And now we're up to here. So you had the opportunity to get in on it, and I hope you did. Now, as we finish up our conversation about these lovely NFT artwork, I've told you I have 3 main points of interest when I go for it. I want to either use them as a profile pic somewhere, especially on Twitter where they can be verified as a purposeful NFT, use them as a background or banner, use them as a header, and, if possible, they are a one of one. Meaning, instead of having one copy of 850 of the same image, I have the one and only copy that is being sold officially as an NFT by the artist. Now, sure, people can right-click and steal the image and do with it what they want, but they've always been able to do that. At least with NFTs, you can prove authenticity. So this is what I was doing when I came back from break, showing you this. This is David Boles' blogs, bolesblogs.com, and over the weekend I uploaded all of the NFTs I currently have possession of and made them into my header images, which I love to do. And this is a Sabet piece. See, I loaded 4 different instances of this website, so it takes a lot of, because you see we're live here, so that takes a lot of CPU power. And we're dropping frames already. Here's another one. This is in Mask by Ian. That is the header on Boles blog. So all of these NFTs are now online. This is my original Sabet that I purchased with the, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl or a cat or a goat or a dog. But it's framed perfectly for use on my blog as a header image. Truthfully delightful, as they say. And this one didn't finish loading, but this one again is another Sabet, which is very busy, very technologically delightful, and it fits beautifully with the aesthetic of what I'm trying to do on my blog. And then you click through to the article, and then the page reloads again, and you get a whole new Sabet showing up, or these are all randomized, so you have to go and you have to click around a lot. And sometimes you get the old image, so we'll get rid of this. Sometimes you get the old image, of previous headers, and then sometimes you get surprised with new one. This is one of the older headers, which I really love. This is Mother Mary behind a empty retail space in Jersey City. And we'll just see what we keep getting here, because this is the fun of collecting this sort of art, what you can do with it. Oh, here's another Ian Jones. Lovely skull, very terrifying. And we'll do one more click through and see what kind of... Ah, that's the old one. That is a lovely heart that you can't see very well, made of folded paper from the always delightful and always thoughtful and caring Jana Marie Sweetheart. That was a birthday gift. So NFTs, as we know, are here. Not necessarily to stay, but they're here. And the new thing is your resume is going to become an NFT. And you're going to apply for jobs on the blockchain. Now, do we like that or not like that? I find it sort of compelling in a way. The resume NFT depicts your skills, experiences, career goals, and passion. Dependent on your preference, your resume NFT is highlighted on the resume NFT marketplace, where the AI matching engine matches your NFT resume to job openings relevant to you. On the other hand, employers and recruiters have the option to view resume details after they have paid the requisite fees. The fees that are collected and transferred to the NFT owner, empowering the people who are sharing their verified data. I'm very itchy this morning. I'm not sure what's going on. As an innovative platform for human resource hiring, it is the first fully automated AI-enabled verified resume marketplace. In only a few steps, Trust Recruit's AI matching engine will and shall provide access to a pool of qualified talents. Each talent is pre-vetted for experience, skills, and salary requirements. Trust Recruit helps in finding the right candidate and which best finds your profile. The process of hiring employees has always been tedious and fraught with misrepresented and embellished resume information. To address this issue, third-party background verification of employees has spawned, yet the hurdles remain, and the hiring cost is going to the third-party companies. You can resolve all these troubles with the NFT resume marketplace created by the Trust Recruit platform. And employers can create their job posting as enablings for job seekers to apply. They, the employer, can also buy NFT fractions of job seekers on the resume NFT marketplace to view the critical resumes at any time. The process helps reduce the recruitment time and saves a significant amount of money on the background and reference checks. From the side of the job seekers, it is also the best proposition available. Professional information stored in the blockchain via the resume NFTs will be in custody of job seekers who have the right to share their data at their discretion and for a fee. Well, I think it's just wonderful. I wish we had more of that. I think that's the way we're going in the future. Get on board or get left behind. And speaking of getting left behind, 77% of those interested in joining the metaverse are worried about Facebook owning the data. An overwhelming 87% of people would prefer a metaverse on the blockchain. This sentiment was even more pronounced among Gen Z-er respondents, who were 10% more likely to prefer blockchain metaverse than their millennial counterpoints. What will they do in the metaverse? The number one activity consumers are pursuing in the metaverse is gaming, followed closely by socializing with friends. Now remember last week, Excuse me. JP Morgan Chase said their #1 reason for joining the metaverse was getting people to work. And the people who are actually going to be in the metaverse, who don't want work for a business, they want to play games and socialize with their friends. I don't think work is on their list. A more distant third was work-related activities, and then attending concerts. So people want to work more than they want to go to a concert. That's not good news for the Snoop Dogg and his Metaverse Death Row Records resurrection. More than half expected to spend 3 or more hours a day in the metaverse. Metaverse participants all seemingly would like to make real money while there, with over 93% wanting to earn money that can be transferred outside the metaverse. Well, yeah, the metaverse doesn't pay your rent. When questioned about preferred features, respondents ranked earning money as #1, followed by socializing. They want the money, but they don't want to work for it. They want the money from gaming. The third priority was the ability to transport between games without leaving the metaverse. Very interesting. Once you're in the metaverse, you don't want to leave. You can check in, but you can't check out. Many believe metaverse will take time to become mainstream. 1 in 5 believe they will be mainstream in 1 or 2 years. That's way too soon. While nearly half believe it will take 3 to 6 years, probably more on the 6-year point of view. Play to earn was a major interest of those surveyed. 93% would game more if they could make minimum wage playing. Nearly 2/3, 63%, would play 3 hours or more a day. That's a lot of time. I don't know where they're playing. It must be at night when they come home from school or they come home from work. They say hello to the kids, pet the dog, eat dinner, and then get in the metaverse for 3 hours and then go to bed. Shockingly, 11% would play 7 or more hours a day, and 87% would switch to full-time gaming if they could get paid. Now, who wouldn't want to get paid for playing a game? Now, Zuckerberg keeps emphasizing how anything Facebook ever did was free. Free in what sense is my question. And how the company is keeping its fees and VR products prices to the minimum to reduce barriers to both entry, to both users and creators. But the company has to make money somehow. We know how it's been doing so far, with ads relying on information collected about us and our behavior. And by the look of things, it intends to use a similar model with its VR experiences. So your entry ticket to Facebook's metaverse may be free, except for the $600 upfront hardware costs. But then your idyllic virtual home or fake movie nights with friends are bound to be interrupted by one ad after another to pay for it all. A Meta patent granted on January 4 lays out a system for tracking a user's facial expressions. We talked about that before. How creepy is that? They track your eyeball movements to see what you're looking at and how long you're lingering on it. Every company has its own nicknames for procedures, leaders, products, and employees. At Google, for example, the workforce is collectively referred to as Googlers, while Amazon perhaps inevitably calls its employees Amazonians. I always thought it was very funny right from the beginning that people who worked at Twitter did not call themselves twerps. What did they call themselves? Twitters? Tweeters? But I thought it was funny because they were very adamant not to be called twits or twerps. For a long time, Facebook termed its employees Facebookers. But with the company's high-profile names to Meta, it needed a new name. And so, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said, "You will all be called MetaMates." That's according to the New York Times, which relied on an unnamed source. It's been confirmed now, where Zuckerberg announced the new name. Some new values align closely with the company's old ideas, including move fast and break things, that helped define Facebook's ethos for so many years. Others seemed head-thuddingly obvious, like focus on long-term impact, build awesome things, and live into the future. And Facebook's parent, Meta, just held its first formal meeting with advertisers to make its metaverse pitch. The message is this: the metaverse is closer than you might think. CEO Mark Zuckerberg said the metaverse is 5 to 10 years from mainstream adoption. 10 years, I think. To 3 attendees who recapped the meeting, Meta's main goal of the event seemed to be to emphasize that parts of the metaverse are already here. Terrifying. Creators will be the key to introducing the general public to the metaverse. They will also frequently use the phrase responsible innovation. Listed universities and intellectuals who are consulting to Meta on related projects and compared to skepticism of the metaverse to older generation skepticism of early internet tools like AOL Messenger. Meta sought to position itself as the metaverse's preferred operating system and criticized other companies entering the space, characterizing Disney's theme park projects as digital experiences rather than metaverses, and suggesting that attendees asked Disney which platform it's using, attendees said. Other big tech companies like Apple, Google, and Microsoft are working on their own versions of the concept. But the key to winning the metaverse is making hardware that'll gain widespread adoption. Google and Apple are making VR and AR headsets, with Apple's reportedly set to cost $1 Ethereum. $3,000. So you can get into the metaverse using Meta's hardware for $600, or you can be a hepcat and go with Apple and pay $3,000. And Meta had a big drop recently, and the fallout was so bad financially that Meta, once the 6th largest company in the world by market capitalization, has fallen out of the top 10, replaced by 2 computer chip makers, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway and Chinese e-commerce company Tencent. For a CEO who has openly courted comparisons to the Roman Empire Augustus, it's an ignominious fall from a rarefied group of world-dominating companies. We may be witnessing the early days of the fall of Zucktuktus, Facebook's once unbeatable ad tracking system. The engine that made it more than $1 trillion company has effectively been neutralized by the likes of Apple, which allows users to block the company's trackers. Google is set to start phasing in similar protections for its users over the next 2 years. Facebook's user base has started to shrink after revelations by whistleblowers and leaks that showed how harmful social media could be to teen users, who are flocking to less toxic competitors like TikTok anyway. And Zuckerberg, clearly bored with the company he founded 18 years ago, has shifted his vision into an immersive version of the internet, complete with headsets and digital avatars that he calls the metaverse, filled with metamates, an ambition that sets up Facebook's competition not with another Silicon Valley company, but with reality in and of itself. Well, it's also horrifying. Terrifying. They're pushing us into a place that not many of us want to go. But they're coming for us anyway. And they're going to coerce us there by working. It's not going to be voluntarily to go there and play games, because nobody wants anybody playing games in the metaverse, because nobody's making money off you playing a game. They're making money off of you doing something that earns them money, not you money. They don't want you to earn money in the metaverse. They want you to earn money for them in the metaverse. And now we're taking our final blood pressure break of the day. we'll come back and talk about feedback and how best to give it and how best to get it. Back in a moment. Hello again. We are back from break. I'm David Boles, here on Boles.tv. B-O-L-E-S, period, TV. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Every day we are here to say hello and wish you a good day and a wonderful evening and a wonderful wake-up. Fridays, 10:15, Jana Marie is here for a hardcore ASL tutorial. And then on Saturday and Sunday, she loosens up, has some more fun, all in ASL. 11 a.m. Eastern, Saturday, Sunday. So we'll check the price of Ethereum again and see what's happening. Since we've been on the air for an hour and a half, it's now up and still holding steady. It's up 108, up 4%. Not quite as much as it was the last time we checked, but it's still up there. This is where you want to buy, down here in this area, below the floor, as they say. But it's still selling well. 27.40 is not bad. And on Friday, that would be considered a steal because it used to be 3,000. But when you're down in this range, and it's going for 2,500, oh boy, you got to look for every penny you have to go grab that and eat it up. How's our gas price doing? Oh, it's high. It's gone up a little bit. And gas prices are just fun to check because you can never plan on them. You think you're locked into a gas price and then it turns out not to be true. But it's gone down a little bit. OpenSea, you're going to pay $63 for gas. Alright, not terrible. So we close the show today with a very interesting exploration of feedback. Now, a lot of people don't like to get feedback because they think it's critical and criticism and it hurts their feelings. Other people say feedback is very necessary. Other people, like artists who I represent and appreciate, don't really deal with feedback. They're dealing with their vision, and you either take it or you leave it. But for the rest of us who are stuck working 9-to-5 jobs, you're going to be getting feedback and criticism all day long. Nobody ever does the right thing anymore, right? Everybody's a critic. Everybody's an editor. So when we receive difficult feedback, we often go through a three-phased response. Denial, exploration, and integration. Almost like the stages of grief. 1. Denial. Our first response to feedback we don't like is to usually deny it, especially if we don't appreciate the delivery. Yeah, talk to your boss. You know, if you had a better delivery, I would accept your feedback more graciously. See how that works for you. But I agree there's a way to do feedback properly. And many bosses really don't care. They're just going to tell you what they think, and that's that. The response, you may find yourself pointing out, usually with justification, that the criticism is not always the case, but I do listen, often with examples of times when you have listened. Second stage, exploration. We acknowledge that giving feedback is hard and that the person probably wouldn't have gone out of their way to give it unless there was a good reason. Now say that to your boss. Well, now I understand. You're trying to make me a better person, and I know you've gone out of your way to say these things to me, and I'm sure you have good reasons of telling me this. The response, you may start to wonder if even a piece of the feedback might be true. Well, maybe what you're saying, a piece of what you're saying could be true. Maybe just 2% of it. I suppose when I'm feeling under pressure, I can get my head down and show a lack of interest in what others have to say. Now, I know you're not supposed to say these to your boss, but I'm saying, what if you did? Because that's what this is sort of telling you to do, is have this internal conversation with yourself. I'm saying, say it to your boss instead. See what happens. Integration. Once we find what is true for us, now I understand, boss, what you're telling me is true for you, but unless I can find some truth in it for me, I'm not going to integrate. Once we find what is true for us, we can move to drawing a conclusion as to what we can gain or learn from the feedback. The response, you start to think about what you might do differently. I need to be less driven under pressure and more accessible to my team. Giving feedback can benefit others in so many ways, including providing learning. If you are seeing a blind spot in your peer or team member, feedback can help them see issues they have been avoiding. It can also inspire the other person to aim for high standards and give them encouragement to keep on improving. Now, if you remember 2 or 3 weeks ago, we did a big article on this study where people don't like to be criticized in teams. They like support. They like it when you agree with them. They like you back. And everything's fine. Excuse me, but even if you offer constructive criticism to say, hey, what about this? Then you're not cooperating. Oh, you're not a member of the team. You belong over there on the outside. You're the outlier. You're not part of the team. To help ease fear or angst of giving feedback, try to always stick with these 2 rules. Tell the truth with respect. Giving feedback often requires us to challenge someone, and as a result can make us feel anxious. The feelings that result from this can distort our message and cause us to either be too tentative or too harsh. In either scenario, it makes the experience uncomfortable, causing the other person to become defensive or to even shut down. So be open, honest, and provide feedback with respect for the other person. Now, I did try that when I was teaching theater students because they're doing presentations and performances. And when they say, well, what did you think of this? The first thing they always go to, until they are told and trained not to, is to say, I didn't like it, or I liked it, or it was good, or it was bad. And those immediately put people on the defensive. So what I try in class to say is it was effective or not effective, and then you always have to defend that with a because. Your performance was effective because bop, bop, bop. Your performance was not effective because bop, bop, bop. So it's not just hot or cold, thumbs up, thumbs down. It was effective, and we talk about what's effective and not effective to set this up. And it's not emotional, it's trying to be factual and above board. And so everybody knows it, and everybody knows it's not a personal attack. And it does seem to help a little bit, because then you're giving reasons for how to fix what the problem is. It's no good to say it was bad and walk away, which what a lot of people do if they are not trained and they don't know what to do. Well, it's not effective because this scene didn't refer to that scene, or your eyes were looking in the wrong direction for what you were trying to claim. Those are small things that can help make a difference. 2, use fact-impact feedback. When giving feedback, explain your intention and give facts using the formula in the above graph, the graph which we don't have. A fact impact example. A manager spoke to their peer from another department. When you have a moment, I'm hoping we can chat to improve our working relationship. Now, would anyone ever say that to another human being in real life? This is almost like chess, right? Where you talk about the computer move, which is cold and calculating and wins, 10 moves later. And then you have the human move, which is what a human being would make, which might be good for a couple of moves and then blow up in your face. No one is ever going to call or send an email saying, hey, when you have a moment, I'm hoping we can chat to improve our working relationship. When you said you would deliver your part of the project by the end of the week and didn't, I felt frustrated because it had a huge impact on the timeline from what my team has to deliver. Now, how would you feel if you got that email? Or somebody called you and left that as a voicemail? Sometimes these smarty pants people who write these articles, you just think, where are they coming from? What world do they live in? This is not how people talk. This is not how people react. You don't want that kind of formal conversation. You got to call up. You got to make it a little easier. Hey, let's get together and talk about what happened with our teams the other day. Start there, not this. When you have a moment, I'm hoping we can chat to improve our working relationship. When you said you would deliver your part of the project by the end of the week and didn't, I felt frustrated because it had a huge impact on the timeline for what my team has to deliver. As you state the impact, be careful of inserting opinions and judgments. If necessary, try to include and label them as such. Hey, it was easy for me to think that. Hey, it was easy for me, meow, meow, to think that, meow, meow, because you're a bad person, meow, meow. It was easy for me because I'm sensitive, meow, meow. I'm trying to think how I can send Dora a DM on Twitter, starting off, Hey, Dora, hey. When you have a moment, I'm hoping we can chat to improve our working relationship. When you said you would deliver your part of the project by the end of the week and didn't, well, I felt frustrated. Because it had a huge impact on the timeline from what my team has to deliver. It was easy for me to think that blah, 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 meow, 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 meow. And I'm not going to send that to Dora because I respect her too much. And even though she knows I'd be making fun of this article, it's still so ridiculous, I don't think I could even type it. Now, sending this to Jana Marie, on the other hand, might work because she's very straightforward, she's very respectful, and she plays by the rules. But I still couldn't send it to her because I'd be laughing the whole time and she would know that I was somehow mocking her. So my advice to you is be careful who you listen to. Don't ever listen to me, anything I tell you, because I don't know anything. I'm old, dumb, and ugly, so what are you going to do about it? And I do laugh at things that are supposed to make you a better person. But when some things seem so ridiculous, what can you do about it? Except try to make sense of it. And when it doesn't make sense, you can say, well, that's just ridiculous. That person doesn't live in the real world. That is a computer move. That is not a human move. Because people make mistakes and people are not perfect. And I find when you want to talk about something important, you don't say, we need to have a talk. No. Don't ever start a conversation like that because you're going to get this response. Talk about what? They're holding. Oh, about that again. We talk about, hey, sunny and 50 degrees outside. No, it's nice for a walk. Hey, look what you did to me. Ease into it a little bit. And on that note, it's time to say goodbye until tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern here on Boles.tv, BOLES.television. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, give me a holler. David at Boles.tv. Tell me how you think you might feel if I hadn't violated all of your norms and precognitions today. If you have a question or concern for Jana Marie about ASL or fun facts or anything else, you can email her, Jana at Boles.tv. We're also online, Twitter at David Boles, B-O-L-E-S, Instagram, Boles Books, Facebook's regular old Boles, TikTok, Boles TV. Here's the link to our Discord server. It's new, it's fresh, it's empty, but we're looking to fill it with smart people and kind wishes. There's the link. You can click on that for more. So until tomorrow, I wish you a good day, a happy evening, and a wonderful dream, and may you wake up joyous and filled with the delights of the promise of your day. I will see you tomorrow.